Hey, this is Brent, and welcome to Brent's Crossroads. And we're getting ready to board the NCL Bliss. Today, we're going to talk about the best places to have a drink, especially if you have the free at sea drink package. Do you have it? It's unlimited drinks, and it covers a wide variety of different drinks. They also have top shelf alcohol, and with the top shelf alcohol, it allows you a $15 credit toward those, to where you can still get the drinks. So let's hop on and let's go for a drink as we get ready to leave Seattle, Washington, headed to Alaska. And deck 6 is where a lot of the bars start, especially 6, 7, and 8. So we're going to head over here. Back here is where the taste and savor main dining rooms are at. And right in the middle is mixed. So while you're waiting for dinner, here's a great place to grab a cocktail or a drink and get ready to enjoy your dinner. Next place is the social. This is the comedy club. So of course, you know there's going to be a bar inside of here. A lot of the bars kind of have like a standard menu, but there's a couple exceptions, and as we get to those exceptions in the bars, I have their menus along with the footage of the bar. So there's this nice little bar, so you can grab a cocktail while you listen to some comedy. Okay, the next bar, as you see there, was the A-list, and it is in between the two halves of Cagney's. So if you've booked a steak dinner, you can go to the A-list bar, grab a cocktail. All right, next stop on the best places to drink is the Cavern Club, which is based off the Cavern Club in Liverpool in England. And this is, where the Beatles got their start. And there is a Beatles Experience band that plays in this club and also does some shows in the big theater. They are fantastic. They look the part, they sound the part. Now, as far as having a drink here, this fills up very, very quickly. It'll be more than standing room only. I mean, it'll be probably past capacity. There's the nice little bar. It'll be so packed you will not be able to get to that bar. So my advice is to get there early to get a seat. And while you're getting there early to make sure you get a seat, I would make sure I would bring a couple of drinks with me. Cash in for a couple of drinks outside of the Cavern Club. Bring a couple of drinks in and sit at the table with you, because you will not be able to get to this bar. And it's so packed, there's usually not a waiter or a waitress going around to take drink orders most of the time, because it is so packed during the Beatles Experience whenever they play. So that's my tip. Get there early to get a seat and bring a couple of drinks with you, because it's damn near impossible to get a drink during the show, and even as it gets close to the show, because like I said, this whole area here open by the door is going to be packed with people. So the next place, this one's not necessarily a bar per se, but we're going to take a look here at the Local, which is a pub and grill. We're going to give this an initial look, and then we'll kind of come back to it. This side here is kind of like the restaurant side of it. And this side here is more of like the pub side, but it looks down into the atrium. And speaking of the atrium, we're going to walk by here. This is the atrium bar. Good place to grab some drinks if you're sitting out here in these chairs, waiting for the shows on the stage, on the atrium stage. So now we're going to head back up here to the Local. They feature a great pub menu. Their pretzel bites are fantastic. Their wings, they have a few different types of wings. They are fantastic. A couple of the burgers they have are fantastic. They have a nice bar here. This is a place that we walked up to and ate a lot. We also hit this bar a lot because it's convenient to hit when you get back on the boat from going ashore. And while you're at the casino, here is the Skyline Bar, which acts as the bar for the casino. So when you're needing a drink at the casino, One thing about the Cavern Club is they have a bar outside. You can sit outside. You can hear the music if you're outside sitting at this bar, but it's a nice place to sit, have a drink, still be part of the Cavern Club. And a lot of the restaurants, too, also have these outer seating areas. And this is the Humidor, which has an amazing... This is like the cigar lounge. They have an amazing drink if you like bourbon or if you like shots of rum, cognac, brandy. They have all kinds of stuff, plus the cigars. Great menu. Great variety of drinks. This is one that definitely has where the upcharge, where your $15 credit will cover you part of the way, and you're going to have to pay the rest. This was my favorite place. This was the District, which has a lot of beer taps. It is a fantastic bar. They also have, though, you can keep track of if you see if you're on the leaderboard. So I had to make sure I was on the leaderboard. If you see, they have a lot of taps. They even had some beer-based cocktails. They had a wide variety of bottled beers. Like I said, the rotating taps. Fantastic place, and it was never really that crowded. Surprisingly, if you go in, there'd be some people at the bar, but it was never like super loud anytime I was there. And this was a highly recommended place to go and grab some drinks, especially if you're trying to keep track of your where you're at on the all-star list. I got as high as like 2, but then I kind of slowed down. There's plenty of games in here. Like there's beer pong, and then there's lots of TVs to watch sporting events. Very happening place. Very cool place to go and drink. Now, if you're a bourbon fan, this is definitely one of the places you want to hit, and this is Malting's, the whiskey bar, and they have a huge menu of different whiskey and bourbon-based cocktails, just regular shots, huge menu. One of the best menus I've seen anywhere on land or sea. And there's some cigars. The other side, you have to go outside to go to the humidor. Now we're going to head outside by the pools, where on one side you have the surf bar, which has your typical run-of-the-mill bar offerings. And at the other end is the waves bar. So whichever end of the pool you're on, you can always grab a drink really easily. Okay, one of the weird things about the Bliss is there isn't like an indoor club. Spice H2O for adults over 18. This kind of acted as the nightclub. And it was just weird because it seemed like there wasn't a lot going on there some of the times. I mean, partly because it's outdoors. This was an Alaskan cruise. That's why if this ship was built for Alaskan cruises, it's weird that the pool's not enclosed. And the club back here isn't enclosed, because here's your stage area with lights and different things for like your DJs. Here's your bar, and there's hot tubs. Very cool place when there's stuff going on and happening. But like it's just a weird setup being like mostly an Alaskan cruise ship. And here's your bar. And that's the one good thing about the Bliss. If you have the free at sea drink package, you could pretty much go anywhere and trip and fall into a bar. There is no shortage of places to go to use your drink package. So no need to worry about that. And as we head out to Horizon Park, there is a bar here, kind of on the corner as you get around to the hot tubs. And before you go into the paid vibe area, which is an extra cost, call this in the Horizons bar. It's your last stop before you go in. And it also covers the hot tubs out here. Like I said, you could trip and fall into a bar, no matter where you're at. So if you're ever worried about not being able to find enough bars, and the other thing that was nice about it is because there were a lot of bars, none of them ever really seemed crowded. There was always space. I never had to wait long for a drink. And even though the ship was full, I said I never had to wait long for a drink. The lines were short. There were always openings, things like that. Now for the wine lovers. Here is Cellars. This is the wine bar. They had tons of different wines. They did wine tastings. Of course, the wine tastings were always extra charge. You could get wine flights. You could buy different things here. You could buy your glasses. Nice little place to go grab some wine. All right, so now if you're up getting some food, you can trip and fall into a bar at the buffet. Okay, this was my personal favorite, and it took me forever to actually get to the sugarcane mojito bar to get some drinks. But the mojito bar was one of my absolute favorite places. The drinks were fantastic. It had a stage there, so they did shows. So my tip for here is try to go when there's not a show or something on the stage, because it's not a big area and it fills up very, very fast. So I think that'd be my main caution, is while you wouldn't have to wait long for a drink, a lot of places there's not adequate seating. And so, if you have your drink package, you're not going to go thirsty. You'll be able to find stuff. I was never worried. I highly suggest I'd heard some bad things about the free at sea, but we had it and absolutely loved it. Had no issues, no problems. So, my opinion, I would cruise NCL with the free at sea again, especially if they're having some kind of a deal on it. So, I hope you enjoyed this look at the best places to go drink on the NCL Bliss. The other thing that was nice is that the tax on alcohol that they would charge whenever you're leaving Seattle, you don't owe, and you don't have to pay if you have the free at sea, which was really nice leaving port. I can get drinks, didn't have to worry about the tax or anything. It was nice finding out that covered it. So, thanks for coming by. Thanks for joining me on this bar tour for the NCL Bliss. If you like this kind of content, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you out on the Crossroads. Thanks. Bye.